Hi everyone, I'm Terriell, and today we're going to be doing some exercises to loosen up and get some relief from those tight necks and shoulders. You might find yourself with a forward head and a collapsed chest, and that might be the reason why you're feeling tight in your neck and shoulders, along with the chain reaction of your chest muscles being tight, your back muscles being overstretched and underworked. It's time to strengthen them, and it's time to stretch out the muscles that are tight, but also engage the ones that we don't use as often to help take the pressure off of our neck and shoulders and the places that aren't feeling too great. So in my signature Pilates fashion, we won't just stretch it out, we're actually going to strengthen it to help get down to the root cause of why your neck and shoulders are likely not feeling awesome. With all that said, let's get down onto the mat. All right, we're down on the mat here, and I want you to come to a comfortable seated position, or you can sit on your heels like I am here, anywhere where you can sit tall and really stack your spine up and down. We're gonna start by warming up the neck and shoulders and kind of getting all of the parts moving. So I want you to just look straight ahead, and then we'll just take one ear to the shoulder, just taking a nice stretch. And you can take that opposite arm and stretch it long and low to kind of open up that side, getting a nice stretch here. And then go ahead and stack it back up, and then we'll lift all the way up and over. And then reach to the side. And I like to think of externally rotating this top or this bottom arm here, thinking thumb out. It kind of helps to get into that stretch a little bit more. And stack it up. Let's go one more time each way. Don't worry, we'll come back here in many different forms. And stack it up. And then last time, just being careful not to overstretch, keeping it kind of gentle. This is our first movement. And then stack it up. And then we'll just look down. Keeping your chest open, keep your thumbs pointing outward. Look up, maybe opening and closing your mouth a couple of times to really get into the throat and open it. And look down. And look up. And from this up position, we'll start to circle to the right ear to right shoulder, down along the chest, left ear to left shoulder, reaching to the back gently. And once you hit right ear to right shoulder, we'll reverse, looking to the back, or looking up rather, and then left ear, left shoulder, and all the way down chin towards the chest. One more circle this direction until you hit that left ear onto your left shoulder, and then go ahead and look forward. Now we look to the right. We look to the left, to the right again, or just side to side, trying to look over that shoulder and to the left. Come into the center. Let's nod the chin forward one more time. Take the hands behind the head. You can clasp the fingertips or just stack your palms. And I want you to place the heels of your hands on your occipital bones, kind of right up at the base of the skull. And just pull gently down and forward. And then let your elbows fall by your ears if that feels good. Carefully, try not to overdo it. And then go ahead and open your elbows to the side, pressing into the backs of your hands, pressing up onto the back of your neck with those hands, almost as if you're lifting your skull off of the top of your spine. Getting as much length as you can through the upper back and neck. Good. And then go ahead and let that go. And now we'll work the shoulders. So we want to shrug them up and shrug them down. Lift them up and lift them down. One more time. Lifting up and lift them down. And then we'll just circle them. 1, 2, 3. And reverse those circles. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now we're going to send the arms forward. And I want you to think of pushing something away so much that your shoulder blades come apart in the back. And I'm going to turn around for you so you can see what the shoulder blades are supposed to do. And then from there, you're gonna pinch your shoulder blades together, pulling back from the back. And then we'll push away and pinch them in. 2 more times, press away and pinch them in. 1 more time, press and pinch them in. And then go ahead and settle, shoulders down the back, and then just try to find that middle point with your shoulders in neutral. They're not pushing out, they're not pinching in, you're still tall through your spine, straight up and down with the abs tight. And then go ahead and drop those arms down and rest them. All right, from there, we're gonna come to the stomach for neck roll. This is my favorite exercise. It feels so good on the back and the neck. So hands underneath armpits, squeezing legs tight together, abs lift, press into your hands. Chest reaches forward and up through your shoulders. So you're pinching your shoulder blades down and together here so that your chest can lift, and your neck is super duper long here. So shoulders are not up in the ears. They're really pulling down the back, and you'll feel your lats engage, which is something we're gonna focus on today. So now I want you to look over one shoulder, take a big circle down, nose down towards the floor, to the other shoulder, and then look center, and then reverse, going to the other direction. Look over one shoulder, big circle down, letting that head get as heavy as possible as that chest stays open, to look center, and then lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Let's do that 1 more time. Press into your hands. Abs are lifted tight, seat is tight. Look over one shoulder, circle down, and center. Look over the other, circle down, and center, and then melt it down to the bottom. Go ahead and press back into a quick child's pose, taking a nice counter stretch for your back and a round spine position. And then make your way up to kneel tall for chest expansion. So from here, I want you to think of engaging down in the lats. So it's these big muscles on the side of your back, underneath your shoulder blades and underneath your armpit. So if you think of squeezing a grapefruit underneath your armpit, you're gonna feel that lat engage. So do a couple of squeezes, get some grapefruit juice going, and try to feel that muscle if you've never felt it before. So we're just gonna stay kneeling tall here. Palms face back this time, and I want you to press down and reach back with the hands, the shoulder blades pulled down and together, squeezing those armpits down so that you feel those lats engage underneath the arms and through the sides of the back. Now, let's look over one shoulder, stretching the neck, reaching that gaze as far back as you can, keeping your chest wide open. Look over to the other shoulder. Look into the center, and then float the arms forward. We'll go 2 more times. Press down and reach back. Let's reverse, looking over to the opposite direction. For me, this is my right. And then I look left. Squeeze those shoulder blades together a little bit more, getting more tension in the upper back. And look center 1 more time. Press back with those arms, opening the chest to look left. We want to keep stretching that chest open. Look right. Look into center and float forward 1 more time. Arms press back. They get longer. They reach down further to look right. And then look left and center and float forward. Go ahead and lower yourself back down onto your stomach. This time we'll go wide legs, arms out into a T. Now I want you to turn your head to the left. Pick up your left leg off the floor and reach it back behind you, twisting open. And here you'll feel a nice little stretch in your back, but also on that right chest, you'll feel a nice opening of the chest, a nice stretch in those pec muscles. And then we'll come back through the center, turn your head to look right, and then send that right leg behind you to open up the left chest. Bring that leg back down through center, and then press yourself up. This time, walking yourself out onto one hip. We're gonna come into a nice, lovely side forearm plank. So I want you to place your palm and your forearm down so that your fingertips are facing forward. And then you're gonna stack your legs one on top of the other. And from here, press down into that elbow and find that side plank. And now from here, I want you to lift your hips as high as you can and squeeze from underneath that armpit. So you're getting that lat muscle to really engage. And in this position, I want you to feel free in your neck and your chest and in the highest part of your upper back, so that all of that is free and you're really holding yourself up with your armpit. Now go ahead and stick with it. This is a really deep muscle engagement. So for me, it's definitely already burning. Try to lift your hips a little bit higher, almost there, and then set it down. And from here, let's flip to the other side. We're just gonna go straight into the other side there. And the reason we do this, engaging in the lats, is because it really kind of takes the pressure off of our traps, which tend to get tight and bring our shoulders forward and up into our ears, which in turn tighten our neck. If our traps, or if our lat muscles get stronger, our traps will work less. Keep squeezing that armpit down, lifting your hips up a little bit. So we really want to work on making that lat connection in the back. And then go ahead and have a seat down. Coming back to your kneeling position, I want you to take your right leg out to the side, left arm down, and we're just gonna draw a big circle with that arm. Go ahead and make a fist with your hand. Try to get your ear to touch your bicep, and you'll feel a nice stretch in your side body. So now, your top arm, go ahead and look down at your bottom hand. Your top arm is gonna reach up and out, and then circle down in front. And as you circle down in front, you'll feel that nice little stretch in the side of the neck. We're just making big circles, bending that elbow, plugging the shoulders, you reach it out to straight, and sending it all the way down. One more time. Big circle with the arm. Hips are forward, abs are in tight. Good. And if you're feeling like you're not feeling anything, you can come to two knees, making sure that you're pushing your hips forward. And for me, I have to tent my fingers because it's a pretty intense side stretch. I actually can't touch the floor. So if you have something to prop yourself up with, if you want to go to that extreme, you can. One more circle here. Good. And then we'll take it up and go to the other side. So left leg kicks out like a kickstand, right hand to the mat. Let's make a fist with the left arm. Look down at your bottom hand. Form a circle with that top arm over. Nice side bend. We're stretching out that lat as well as the neck as we pull that arm up to the ceiling and then circle it across the body and down. 3 more circles here. Letting that shoulder blade move along the back. 2 more to cross over. Let's go 1 more circle and cross it over. Good. And then go ahead and bring yourself back up. From here, I want you to have a seat on the mat, wide legs. And if you need to sit tall, bend your knees. We're gonna be leaning the chest into the wind. So in this exercise, we're just gonna move the shoulders in all of the ways. So I want you to just have really strong fingertips and then think of pushing something up, up, up and away. Keeping your chest lifted forward and up, and you'll feel that tension in your upper back in between your shoulder blades. And then just think of pushing that chest, reaching your chest a little bit higher up still. Whew. Good. And then from there, we're gonna drop that chin down, round back and tip back about halfway, keeping the arms reaching forward. From there, round forward, reach for your toes. And then we'll take the arms and swipe them back behind us. I want you to clasp your fingertips together if it's available. If not, just reach them long and squeeze your shoulder blades. And then we'll lift the arms up and then let go, completing that big circle with the arms, lifting them out to the side, around to the toes for another stretch. Then go ahead and roll up your spine, arms stretch out at shoulder height. From there, push something up and away, up and away, up and away, up and away. Try to get your arms to reach behind your ears here. Feel that tension in your upper back. Go ahead and round, dropping the chin to the chest, letting go of that tension. And then dive forward, fingertips reach to the toes. From there, reach your arms down and back behind you, clasp the hands together. Take a big stretch, lifting those arms up and back. Let go, and then send the arms all the way up and around to your toes. One more time, roll up through your spine, tall, arms reach out at shoulder height. And then push something up and away, up and away, up and away, leaning forward, tall through the chest. Chest reaches up and forward, arms reach up and back. And then go ahead and round backward through that spine, scooping into your powerhouse. And then dive forward, nose to the knees. From there, swipe those arms back behind you, staying over. Clasp the hands together if available, or just reach those palms together, reaching them down and back. Now lift the arms up behind you. Let go. Send the arms all the way out and around to reach over for your toes. Now go ahead and stack your spine up. We'll do one more thing today. And this one is a little bit more advanced. It takes some strength. So if you're not feeling up to it, I'm gonna first give you the basic movement. So sitting tall, we'll take the hands behind the head, and then we'll just drop the chin down, rounding the upper back, and then folding the elbows by the ears, and then push the back of the head gently into the hands to stack your spine up. So you can do that a few times, or you can follow along with me. This is the Pilates headstand, which gives you a really nice stretch in your upper back and neck. But again, it's more advanced and takes a lot of upper body strength. So if it's not for you today, don't do it. So we're gonna take the forearms and bring the fists together. Let's actually clasp the hands together. And then drop the crown of the head down in between those hands. And I want you to walk your knees in, tuck your toes under, and lift your hips up to the ceiling. And now from here, let the back of your head kind of just rest in your hands a little bit. And most of the weight is not in your neck at all. It's actually in your forearms. You're pressing down into your forearms. In fact, the crown of my head is barely touching the floor. So now, keeping that, we're just going to tiptoe backward until you reach a plank. And then down at the very bottom of your plank, you'll pull your abs and squeeze your butt, drop your hips down so that your chin falls in towards your chest for a nice stretch. And then from there, you'll come up with the hips and tiptoe the feet back until the hips are high, driving those elbows down. From there, let's tiptoe the toes back to that plank. Pull the low belly in, drop the hips down, and then lift those hips back. And those hips only just drop down to your point of control. One more time. Go ahead and tiptoe those toes back. Pulling the low belly in, finding that plank, and then reach your hips forward and down, squeezing the butt. And then go ahead and make your way back up with those toes to the top, driving those forearms down into the mat, and then lower your knees down. From here, we'll all come together into a child's pose, just reaching your arms long, letting your forehead rest down onto the mat. All right, and then go ahead and just walk yourself up, and you made it through some awesome Pilates exercises for tight neck and shoulders. And there you have it, all those awesome Pilates exercises for tight neck and shoulders. I hope that you're feeling a little bit of relief, a little bit more open, and a little bit taller, and that this is one routine that you'll come back to over and over again, because we often send ourselves forward and inward, and we want to keep opening up and stretching out those tight parts. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today for your workout. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them below. You can also always shoot me a DM on Instagram at Terriell Samuels. Link is below in the description. As always, if you like this video, if you learned something, if you had fun, and most importantly, if you got a good workout, make sure you hit like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the mat next time.